Hey, what is going on everybody? Today we have the Acer Nitro 5 gaming laptop here. And I want to go over its features and then my experience using it for the last couple years. So this is pretty much like a long-term review and how it's held up over this course of time. So the exact version of this laptop I have here is the 15-inch version with a 144 hertz monitor. It has the 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes SSD drive, a GTX GeForce 3050 graphics card, and the Intel Core i5 processor. So like I said, I've had this thing for a couple years now, and I've used it for everything from school, for work, for gaming, and I would say this thing has held up pretty well. There are a couple drawbacks I'll get into, but for the bright side, I would say this thing has played pretty much any game you can think of on pretty much max settings, especially because of that 3050 graphics card, which really gets the job done for most of these games out here. And I would say for the build quality of this thing, it feels there's a good weight to it, so you know it's not like some cheap piece of plastic. It does feel really good to hold around. Although if you want to travel to school and work with it a bunch of times in your backpack, like I said, it is a little bit heavier, so that might be annoying, but I usually just keep it in one place and use it there, so it's really not a problem for me. Now, if you care about how buttons feel, I will say these buttons and the keys feel pretty good, but nothing amazing. It's not like a mechanical keyboard or anything, but they're not too squishy or anything, so they're definitely still satisfying to push. Just, not the highest quality keyboard. For the biggest drawback of this thing, I would definitely say that the longer I use this thing, the less of a charge it seems to hold. Like when I first got this thing, I could, use some hardcore programs and game on it for hours at a time without needing a charge. But now, unless I'm just surfing the web, it really doesn't last for hours on end if I'm like using it for intensive purposes like gaming or softwares or anything like that. But overall, I'm extremely happy with this laptop, and I see no problem using it even years later. So if you're looking for something budget friendly that still gets the job done for pretty much any task you can think of, then I would definitely recommend the Acer Nitro 5.